Hey everybody, my name is Janice Sutherland and I am the producer and host of the podcast This Woman Can. And as you can tell by my accent, there's an English lilt to it, and I am UK born but of Caribbean heritage, and I live in the beautiful Twin Island state of Antigua and Barbuda and have done for the past 10 years. Now, before podcasting, I had a very successful corporate career where I was the first female CEO to head up the telecom sector in Antigua and Barbuda and Montserrat. And I did that for a well-known telecommunications company. In my spare time, what do I do in my spare time? Well, I am an author. I'm also an author of the book This Woman Can, the No BS Guide for Women Who Lead. I am a marathon runner and I am a very, very keen cyclist. I live out here, as I said, in my ancestral country. I have my garden, I'm a keen gardener, and I also have 5 dogs and my husband. Now, what can I tell you about the podcast? Well, This Woman Can, as it says, is all for women, all about women, and the topics I cover are all challenges that women will face throughout their career, be that career progression, be that career change, be that going into leadership. What are the challenges we as women face in navigating those sort of careers, especially at a very senior level, because we don't see many women at that level in the Caribbean region. So what I'm trying to achieve with the podcast is to let women know that they're not on their own in this whole process, that they can learn from the successes and sometimes mistakes of other women who have already followed that path, and that they don't have to reinvent the wheel per se to take that next step in their career. I want it to be informative, lively. We have lots of conversations with women, with Caribbean women and diaspora women about their career journeys and some of the challenges they've had to traverse to get to where they are today. Now, I started podcasting, it seems like a very, very long time ago. I started podcasting 4 years ago, and it was actually under a different name. It was actually under Phenomenal Woman. And the whole idea that I started the podcast was to enable me to connect with other women across the region. It was a great way to have those conversations with women I didn't know outside of the country I lived in. And it was very straightforward to start the podcast because I just needed a laptop and you needed Wi-Fi connection. And the biggest challenge, I think, was reaching out to those women, because overcoming your own limiting beliefs as to would women really want to talk to me about the challenges they had. But that has really evolved over the years. So now some of the biggest challenges I had in the past were just getting enough women to participate in the podcast. And I'm glad to say that I've interviewed probably circa over 100 women to date so far about their challenges, a complete sphere of different industries, creativity, industry in STEM. And I've always tried to make it as interesting to women as possible, to give them a voice that we don't hear. And the other impetus for me for doing this is that we don't hear about the journeys of Caribbean women per se in the region. We hear about US, we hear about European, but we don't hear about the challenges that Black Caribbean or women of colour in the Caribbean, the challenges they face. So I really wanted to give a voice and let the world know that we are here, that we are out here, that we have a lot to offer, and that, you know, we can take up spaces where traditionally we haven't been expected to take up that space. The podcast really gives a voice to Caribbean women in the region, because I don't think there are many podcasts that are dedicated enough to our challenges, what we face, the things we have to go through in the region. And it's to let other women know that they're not alone in this process, that there are other women who have had similar experiences, who can empathize with them, who they can relate to, who can share their successes and show them that it is possible. Whatever you dream to do, whatever career, whatever challenges you're facing can be overcome, and that somebody else with a similar background to you, with a similar upbringing, with similar experiences to you, understands what you're facing right now, and it gives them the voice to know that it can be done. And that's what I keep sharing. That's what gives me the passion to keep continuing doing the podcast, just to hear the different stories of all these women, to act as a oral history of the challenges or the successes that Caribbean-born women, Caribbean diaspora women, and the contribution that they've made to the world at large.